All right, we have started. Welcome to episode 13 of the Dirty Controller Boys podcast. Hello, Howler. It is just me and you, because fuck Wesley. I think that's going to be the title of this episode.
I like Wesley. I'd say buy it.
All right, we can agree to disagree, but nah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with Wesley, but yeah. I don't know. I think he's probably sleeping. But we awake because we the awake boys, even though we go to bed really late, which is bad for our health.
Technically early, but yeah.
Like, I guess you're right in a way.
I'm definitely not wrong, you know.
Yeah, time is just subjective. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, how have you been?
Pretty good.
That's good. That's good. I have been pretty okay as well. I got new lights, and I got some games in the Steam summer sale.
You look very lighted.
Yes, I was hoping that it'd have more of a yellowish tinge to, you know, make it more warmer, but that's the best we got. But so far, these lights are pretty good. These lights are pretty good. I thought they were made out of glass. Apparently, the panel is just plastic, which is interesting. But they're cool though. You can connect them into. I got two of them. You can connect them into like directly into your outlet, or you can have them charging. And like I think, depending on how much power you're using, I think they're good for like an hour or two, wireless. Yeah, they're neat. And they have like a little thing on the back telling you like, here's how much battery life you have. Anyways, so you want to talk about your week? League?
Yeah, I played pretty much. I didn't really do a lot.
Okay.
Finished Mission Impossible 2, garbage. Whoever keeps giving Tom Segura
Wrong person.
an opportunity. Huh?
Wrong person.
Who?
Tom Segura.
Why?
Are you talking about Tom Segura or Tom Cruise?
No. I know it's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is garbage. I don't know why people like this guy.
I was like, wait, why are you talking about Tom Segura? I like Tom Segura.
I love Tom Segura. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll watch the third one, but I'm starting to just feel like maybe I don't want to watch anymore.
I think you might like the third one because it's not as goofy as 2, but they're just I think they're all equally as goofy. But 2 kind of two kind of takes the cake with the goofiness.
I don't even know. Like, I don't mind the mask ripping off shit. There was a scene where like they're chasing each other with cars in the beginning.
Yeah.
And like tapping each other's car, and it's like,
oh yeah, like, that shit. I'm like, look at these very expensive looking cars.
Yeah, it felt super unnecessary, and like, I don't know. It probably sounds like complaining, I guess, or nitpicky or whatever, but
yeah, bro,
even just shit like that, I'm just like, can we go to the part where like things happen? It's like filler, and I'm just like, I don't need to be filled here. I'm good.
No, but you need to establish how these two characters connect.
Oh, they're so goofy. You're silly.
Exactly.
You're so silly.
And then they could build up their romance together.
That's another thing. Stop fucking. Everything doesn't need romance. Everything doesn't need comedy. Fucking just make a goddamn movie.
What are you talking about? It needs all the sexiness of Tom Cruise and Thandie Newton.
Tom Cruise. That's a Tom Cruise 5'4".
I believe he is. I don't know how tall Thandie Newton is.
Tom Cruise is like 5'9", but still.
Is he 5'9"?
He's something like that, yeah.
Okay, whoa, hold on. I was about to say I'm 5'9". Tom Cruise height. He's 5'7", so he's shorter than me.
See, he's a little guy.
He's shorter than me.
But he never looks short in the movies, right?
Yeah, I believe it might be in his contract to look taller than most people, especially in a leading role.
I watched something recently about like filming and how they tend to use like angles to just keep everyone almost like similar heights.
Yeah, there's a lot of like camera play and stuff like that.
Yep.
Depending, but
They just CGI him into his movie solid.
I mean, people have been speculating that like whenever like Tom Cruise like takes off his shirt and shit, or like he uses like digital de-aging on himself. So I mean, there you go. There is CGI used on Tom Cruise. This is all speculative, by the way. Yeah, I don't want to say this is confirmed, but
I doubt they CGI him. Do you think they do?
I feel like they do.
I mean, maybe in like newer movies, but I don't think like the old, like definitely not in the Mission
I mean,
Impossible
obviously
stuff.
not the old movies, the stuff now. God, not when he was younger. Obviously, they're gonna use digital de-aging when he was young because that shit wasn't made until like nowish.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said digital de-aging. I must have missed when you said that. Maybe I don't know. That digital de-aging they tried to use, I don't even know if that's really what they used, but whatever the fuck they used in that Martin Scorsese movie,
The
like,
Irishman,
maybe two, yeah. Oh, definitely the eye color change, which was really fucking weird.
I forget. Did they CGI his eyes?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I don't
God.
know if it's CGI or whatever the fuck they did, but they made it look. It just looks so bad. It looks so bad trying to make them look young.
The digital de-aging shit was really not great because the fact I forget there was a thing that I saw that like they digitally de-aged Robert De Niro. Like I forget. I think it was like either an Onion thing or something from Hard Drive, like one of those satire websites. But they're like, yeah, they digitally de-aged Robert De Niro to make him look 20 years younger, but he still moves like a 70-year-old man. Especially when he's kicking, and it's just like, yeah, like his kicks look like an old man kick.
It's funny too, because like Scorsese was like, "Don't watch this on your phone. It's not meant to be watched on your phone." Like, and then I watch it, and I'm like,
you, Martin.
This isn't meant to be watched anywhere. It looks so bad.
Fuck you, Marty. I can do whatever the fuck I want. This is America, the shit that you love so much. Taxi Driver. I watched that shit on my phone. Departed.
Watched it
on my phone.
That's wild. Departed was so good.
It's a good movie. Even though it is based off the Chinese movie Infernal Affairs.
Americans did it better.
I heard the Chinese version is actually pretty good. And it's 3 movies.
You would tread on us.
The Chinese?
Americans?
Oh. Like the Chinese? Yeah, no, I like Martin Scorsese's movies. I do. But it's like, fuck you, dude. Just let me, I'm gonna watch my shit on my phone. I'm gonna watch my shit. I'm gonna watch the first hour or maybe an hour and a half of The Irishman on my TV, and then I'll watch the rest on my phone. Because I don't have time for this shit.
I watched it all on my phone.
Did
like,
you?
I'm talking like minute 1 that shit came out, because I was like, oh, like this is supposed to be good. It was bad.
It's a very slow. It's weird because like it's such a long movie, and it feels very slow because of the amount of buildup.
Yeah.
But I think it's all right. I wouldn't say this movie is my favorite Martin Scorsese movie, but I think it's all right. I think it's okay. I mean, everybody goes back to Goodfellas, obviously.
It is maybe okay. It's probably one of the worst ones, though.
Can't really say because I haven't really watched all his movies. Because I still have to watch The Last Temptation of Christ. I still gotta watch that one.
Yeah, that's better than this.
Oh, and Kundun is also the other one.
All his movies are better than this one. All of them. Every single one.
All of them?
All of Bruce Willis's movies are better than this.
Stop it.
Every single one.
Stop it. I agree with Die Hard and Die Hard with a Vengeance, but still.
First of all, every Die Hard is amazing. Don't ever sully the good name of Die Hards.
I will sully them. Fuck
Listen,
Die.
bro. The
Fuck
Fire
Die
Cell
Hard.
one, dope.
I don't. Which Die Hard was that one?
I think 4.
Wait, wasn't 4 the one with Justin Long?
Yeah, that was Fire Cell one.
Okay. And which one was the one with his son? 5,
Justin
right?
Long, but it also had I believe, what's his name? Fuck, I can't think of his name. Jay and Silent Bob, the fat boy.
Oh, Kevin Smith?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kevin Smith was in there for a hot second.
As like a cameo?
Yeah, for maybe like a few minutes.
I mean, that would
Unless it was just another fat guy.
make sense.
Kevin Smith is skinny, by the way, but at this point.
Yeah.
Smith.
I mean, that would make sense because he has done movies with both Justin Long and Bruce Willis. So. Are you looking up if Kevin Smith was in Die Hard?
Yeah.
Was he in Die Hard?
Yes, he was.
Okay, there you go. All right, well, we went from fucking Tom Cruise to Marty Scorsese and Bruce Willis all in one shot. I don't know. I probably think you wouldn't like it though, because I would recommend Silence, the other Martin Scorsese movie that I watched. But it's a very slow movie as well. But I think the plot is like really interesting, and I think Andrew Garfield is like really good in that movie.
Garfield.
Yeah, he
Spider-Man,
loves.
right?
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the cat. I was about to say, yeah, he loves lasagna and hates Mondays.
No.
Yeah. What else did you do with your week? Are you laughing? Are you laughing?
It's been more productive week than like doing anything fun.
Okay. Anything you were proud of that you have accomplished during your week or nah?
Defending Bruce Willis. That's my prep point of my week.
All right, so that's it. That's your whole week.
All right. That's my week, man.
All right, cool. Bruce Willis. What did I do? Oh yeah. Speaking of Tom Cruise, I'm up to date with Mission Impossible. Well, sort of. I watched. Hold on. Let me get my notepad ready. I watched a couple movies. So, last week I watched Mission Impossible 3. Did I say I watched 4? I don't remember, but either way, I watched 4 and 5 in Mission Impossible. I also watched Vice, a bio drama about Dick Cheney. We talked about this like pre-recording, but yeah, that was a good movie. And then I watched a Korean movie by the title of The Gangster, the Cop, the Devil.
How was that?
Okay, so let me start with the Mission Impossibles. I'm enjoying them way too much. That I'm probably considering of watching Mission Impossible 6? Yeah, Mission Impossible 6 Fallout again. And I saw that in the theaters, and I actually did enjoy watching that movie. But yeah, those have been. I think those are my Fast and Furious movies because they're so dumb, but I enjoy them. But either way than that, Vice, I recommend watching. It is a good movie to watch. The only thing is that like I wouldn't take the historical context to heart, because there are some historical shit that doesn't make sense, and a lot of people kind of disprove that. I just think Christian Bale in that movie is really good as Dick Cheney. I know that Dick Cheney's family hates Christian Bale for portraying their dad like that / husband. But Well, I mean, he's an actor. And I think also because of the fact he specifically quoted that like in the movie he portrayed Chaney as the devil. That was his inspiration for Chaney. So there's that. And for the movie, the gangster, the cop, the devil, it was actually a pretty alright action thriller. I watched it because I want to see more work of this actor by the name of Don Lee, who was in Train to Busan, and he was the character in that movie that was he was a really big guy, but he was also the dad, or going to be a dad, in Train to Busan. So I watched this movie because I was like, oh, I haven't really seen any other of his works. Oh, he was also in Marvel's Eternals. I think he was Gilgamesh. I think that was the name. But anyways,
Nice.
Yeah, he's been Marvel-fied. But the movie is pretty good. I like the setup where it's like basically there's this is serial killer running around in Korea, specifically South Korea, excuse me. And this cop is trying to find this guy, while at the same time trying to take down this like criminal organization that's going on. And Don Lee is the criminal boss. And basically Don Lee gets into an altercation with the serial killer at a point, because the serial killer does is that at night, and if it's raining, he hits his victims' cars and like tries to play it off as an accident. And while their victim has their back turned, like taking pictures for like accident reports, that's when he decides to stab him. So he tries to do that with Don Lee, but he doesn't kill Don Lee. So that kind of leads to Don Lee's character to go to this cop and be like, hey, why don't we work for each other? He's like, I know you can't get anywhere in your career because your boss is basically my bitch. So if I have the say so, I can let your boss promote you. And on top of that, you get the guy that you want. And on top of that, once you get this guy, I'm going to kill him because he tried to stab me. So it's basically this whole thing of like the cop working with the bad guy, in order to catch an even badder guy. And yeah, it was all right. It was an all right movie. I enjoyed it. It's on Freevee on Amazon Prime. If you don't know what Freevee is, yeah, it's Amazon Prime's new like free movie channel.
Oh,
yeah, that's where I watched the Revenant. So yeah, the gangster, the cop, the devil. So yeah, that's what I watch for movies. As for video games, so we were talking about how like our sleep has been pretty bad at times. My sleep was pretty bad today because I was up all night playing Dragon's Dogma. I saw credits, but apparently there's post-game shit that's going on. So I'm doing the post-game shit, which is essentially obtain 20 wake stones. And in Dragon's Dogma's universe, wake stones are essentially your Phoenix Downs. So but the only issue is that like you got to find pieces of them in order to make like one whole one, and I got to find 20 of them. So that's going to be a slog. But the other thing I got to try out is the DLC, not the DLC, but like the expansion they added on to this version of Dragon's Dogma, called the Bitter Black Isle. Yeah, Bitter Black Isle. And essentially it's like this one big dungeon that descends and you have to like go all the way down in order to fight the final boss. Yeah, I think when you're fighting the dragon, because that's basically kind of the ending, quote unquote ending boss fight. It's fun. I thought I was like super underpowered, but like I was like pretty alright fighting this dragon. It's really cool. And especially the thing that they do afterwards in order to set up the end game stuff, where basically when you meet the dragon gives you a choice. He's like, you can either stand and fight me, or sacrifice a person that you have like some kind of like connection with romantically. And you can be as powerful as you want, essentially. Like, so, take up this bargain, essentially. I forgot that I basically maxed on the on the Duke's wife, because there's a Duke in this game. So I was macking on his wife. So that was basically the love interest choice that I got. Even though this bitch fucking betrays me at a point. It's so goofy that side story. Because of the fact that like this woman is like, oh, you're so attractive and handsome and this and that, and she invites you to her chamber. And you get to her chamber and she's trying to like flirt with you and stuff like that, but then you hear that the Duke is coming to the chamber, so you go off and hide in a little corner, but the Duke is like interacting with her, and all of a sudden the Duke just like snaps, like he's going crazy, and tries to choke her out. So you have a choice of like either letting him choke her to death or intervening. So I intervened, and that was for the worst, because then she was like, oh my god, look at this rapscallion entering my chambers, trying to make moves on me. My Duke, my Duke, throw him into the dungeon. And then they throw me into the dungeon, and then they beat me. And then she comes out and she's like, I have the key for you. I am so sorry for that. I still love you, smooch smooch. And I'm like, get the fuck out of my face, bitch.
Wow.
And then that came to the point of like the bargaining thing that happened with the dragon, and I'm like, god damn it. Like, either sacrifice this bitch or fight the dragon. And I was like, fine, I'll fight the dragon. So I fought the dragon, and then later on, after you beat the dragon, she basically lives with you now. She is your wife, I guess. She just leaves the Duke.
Oh no. She's not my wife.
I was like, no, none of this, please. Get out of my face.
Sacrifice the bitch.
I would have, but then I'm like, I would have missed out on this cool dragon fight, as far as I know. But I was like, let me do cool dragon fight. It was cool because like it was just like this really big spectacle fight. You're running from the dragon because the dragon's chasing you. You're climbing on the dragon's back as it's flying to like hit it in its weak point. And then on top of that, you get into an arena where you actually fight the dragon, and its weak point is its heart. Because that's the whole setup of Dragon's Dogma, is that the dragon's heart is like the thing that you're trying to obtain because he took your heart. But like I was saying, is that like I like how they set up the post game, because essentially the dragon was like, the world will now know peace, but there's a truth that you still have to understand about your world, and it's like, it's very ominous. And then after the dragon dies, the clouds in the sky start to like turn gray, and then a part of like your hub kingdom that you go to just falls apart. So essentially shit is just crumbling. And then on top of that, I think one of the game's mechanics that goes on is after you beat the dragon, more rarer enemies start to appear in like the overworld, and you can go out and like collect them for material and stuff like that. But yeah, basically the post game is like shit went bad because you killed the dragon, essentially. And then on top of that, you find out that the Duke is dying, essentially. Like, he's getting older. And the reason why is apparently he was either in a risen, what your character is, basically the chosen one, or he had some kind of bargaining with the dragon. I was really unclear on why the Duke was aging. But essentially, when you go to see the Duke again, the Duke is like, you did this. You made a bargain with the dragon. You want to take my position as Duke. And basically, he's like, you're the cause of all this. So yeah, and then like the game is like, oh, that big hole that was part of your little hub world, that's your new area you got to go explore for the Wake Stones now. So you got to do that shit, and now I'm doing that shit. And I'm like, God damn it, it's gonna take me forever. But it's cool. There's like little neat things that they kind of do with that, where you fight like different bosses that you haven't seen before. Like there's this boss that I was like, what the fuck is that? Where it's essentially just this eye with like tentacles off it. And I'm like, I've never seen this shit before, but I beat the fuck out of it, and I was like, okay, this shit is super dead. But yeah, it's like introduces like some dungeons just for you to find wake stones and shit like that. And on top of that, I found a like a little boss arena that kind of plays into like the networking stuff of this game, the online shit, where you fight the Dragon. And the Dragon's whole mechanic is that players across like the network fight this dragon for a good bit, and if you get a good chunk out of it, it leaves and then it enters someone else's like room for them to fight. So it's basically players doing damage to this thing so other people can do more damage to it, and like so on and so forth. But apparently you could turn that shit onto offline and you just fight that thing, and apparently it gives you a shit ton of waste stones, so I'm kind of contemplating that, of like turning off the online and then going in and fighting this thing. Which apparently people say it's not actually that hard, but yeah, I have yet to go in and do that. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma is pretty fun. But it was weird because when the game was like, oh, you have now reached final battle with dragon, I was like, wait, I'm like, how many hours did I spend with this game? And I think I saw it was like 30 hours. I'm like, wow, huh. Like, for some reason I thought the game was longer, and I'm looking at the overworld map. I'm like, yeah, it's actually not that huge, but there were some places that I haven't like checked out yet. But yeah, it's weird, very weird. Dragon's Dogma, still fun. You can get it for $4 on Steam if you want to try it out.
It was free on PlayStation Plus, I think, a little bit ago.
But do you want to play it in 30 frames per second or 60?
I want to play it with my controller on my PlayStation.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna.
What did you say? $5 or below $5?
Yeah, it was like $5. I forget how much.
I mean, if you're a PC person, yes, it's definitely worth.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It really is. Have you played Dragon's Dogma? I don't think we ever talked about this.
I probably started it, but never really went anywhere with it.
Yeah, it was the same thing with me when I first got it. I was like, I'll play this, and then I played a good bit of it, and I just never went back to it. It was one of those games that I started up multiple times, but just never proceeded on. But I think with the announcement of Dragon's Dogma 2, I was just like, let's actually get into this game and see what this is. Oh, and one of the things I want to correct myself on, I mentioned last week that you have a party of 3. It's actually a party of 4. So you have your character, a pawn, which is essentially your side character that you create, and then you get 2 additional pawns from the pawn networking shit that goes on. So you can have 4 pawns to your liking, I guess. Yeah, I think the one thing I mentioned before is that like I don't really care for any of the characters, to be honest, in Dragon's Dogma. The only character I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm really ashamed that he's dead now, is the dragon. that was the only character that I liked, because he was really interesting and very menacing, but that was basically it. And then what I hear about Bitter Black Isle is that like the final boss for that is actually pretty interesting. So I want to give that a shot before I get to the actual end of Dragon's Dogma. So yeah, still going, which is weird. Like I said, I saw credits, but like I still technically have more of the game to go through. So yeah, another thing I want to mention is that obviously the Steam Summer Sale is happening. So I was looking at stuff to buy. Obviously there was a lot of stuff that I want to buy, but can't really spend a good amount of money on it. Because the amount of shit that I wanted to get was like over like $300, so I was like, nope, gotta cut that shit out. But one of the games that I got that I am really enjoying, only that I'm like 2 hours into the game. It's called Mutant Year Zero. I don't know if you ever heard of this game.
Uh-huh.
I think it was free on the Epic Store. But it's essentially a XCOM game, and I've never really played an XCOM like game. But essentially the whole basis is you play as mutants after the world has essentially just fallen. And your mission is to find this one dude who has possibly found this sanctuary known as Eden. And yeah, basically XCOM your way through this world. I don't know. It's really fun, to be honest. It's one of those games where it's like, obviously, you know, it has that that tile-based combat and like turn-based as well, and you know, you can upgrade your weapons, upgrade your characters. The mutant stuff is interesting because that's how you upgrade your characters, by mutating them. In the sense that like they have their own set mutations, but you just need the skill points in order to unlock it. For example, one of the characters is named Dux. He's a mutant duck man. He gains, I think if you have like 7 points, he's able to get wings, and you can use the wings for him to like fly overhead and like take out enemies from like up top and stuff like that. And then you have another character by the name of Borman. And yeah, he's a pig man. Fun, just overall fun. And an expansion has been added to that, so basically I gotta play through the game and level up a good amount, because I think in order to play the expansion you gotta be level 25. But yeah, like I said, good time playing that. And then anything else I played? Not really. I haven't gone back to Diablo 2 yet. I don't know why. Oh, I know why, because I've been working this week. I've been working and sleeping. I've been thinking of like, how come I didn't play that many video games? Oh yeah, work and sleep. Yeah, I when I think about it, I didn't really do that much. Just play some games and watch some Mission Impossible. Yeah, I guess that's look around. Yeah, it's been about my week. Very short week. Just working, moving stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that said, would you like to take a break, or do you want to keep going?
Let me go get some water real quick. That's all I gotta do.
All right. I guess we'll take a little short break. All right, we're back from our breaks. Hello, Haler. Did you get your water, your appropriate stuff?
Yeah, I got water.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's talk about the news. The news. News. I gotta ask my friend to make music for me for the podcast. I don't know. Which one would you want to talk about? Do you want to take this away?
You want to start at the bottom?
I forget which.
Usual.
I forget which one's the bottom.
Sony.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, because I kind of have these out of order, unfortunately. Yeah, Sony. Let's talk about Sony. Oh, I'll save it for the end because I realized I did something else with my week. But anyways, I'll save it for the end. But you know what can't be saved till the end? Sony. They're doing a new product now, primarily for PC gamers and PS5 gamers. So shout out to the people who got PS5s.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, so Sony has announced their new lineup of gaming gear called InZone. They're launching a monitor and 3 different headsets. Apparently these are on sale now. You can pre-order them on Amazon. I just saw that the pre-order went up for these. As for the monitor is it's dubbed the M9, and basically the whole detail with this is that it has HDR tone mapping and 4K, and it's supposed to make the games look nicer, and has a automatic switch depending if you're watching movies or playing a game. It has a cinema mode and a game mode. So that's supposed to be like the really, really cool thing about this monitor. And then for the headsets, you have headsets that are the highest one is $300, while the lowest one is $99. So basically, the H9 is the premium headphones, which has noise canceling, 360 spatial audio, and 32 hours of battery life. And then the one below that is H7. It doesn't have noise canceling, but it has an extended battery. And then below that is the H3, which is the wired version of the headphones. Yeah, basically, there's a statement from Sony's president saying that, the PC market is out there, and especially with them putting out their games on the PC market, they want to expand their stuff, their hardware for the PC users. Yeah, I guess it's cool. So I just a little behind the scenes. I know we've been talking about like a monitor and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if this might be interesting, but I'm gonna wait for the reviews and stuff because I've been.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm gonna wait for reviews and stuff for most of these products. Because I've been looking for like a new headset because the headset that I have is like a very cheapo one. And like sometimes the audio is not great on it sometimes. But I don't know if necessarily I'm going to pay $300 for a headset at the time, before reviews. And then the monitor looks interesting, but like I said, reviews.
Yeah. The headset wise,
You don't want that noise canceling?
I don't really know. I feel like I'd rather just buy a big old pair of Beats and buy external microphone if I'm gonna like really enjoy like sound and stuff. I don't know. I mean, everything. I feel like all these headsets that are gaming, quote unquote, gaming headsets tend to be like, we're the best at doing gaming noises. I feel like the closest I've come to like feeling like a good product for really good sound quality for gaming has been Razer so far. And I've used Turtle Beach, Logitech, and Razer like through my life so far. But other than that, like regardless of the headset, I do think it's good that they're trying to do some like gaming monitors. So from a video I watched about this PC monitor / PS5 monitor, right? It's supposed to be able to connect with your PS5 and do all the features for you. You don't have to because it's Sony, right? So it automatically is like you're able to do HDR. It's set, like thumbs up. It's already done. So you don't have to. There's not a lot of
Yeah, because the other thing I've been seeing is that apparently it has. I think it also kind of adds to the cinema mode switching with the game mode. Is that you're able to change the hertz because I think the monitor is supposed to be 144.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have the opportunity to use that 120 VRR mode for the PS5. So yeah, and then the same thing with the headsets is you're able to see, because I know some headsets you can't see how much battery life you have. I think the only ones, there's a couple that you can see on the PS5. But these ones have that feature as well, because obviously it's a Sony branded thing.
So it also says that the M3 is a 1080p. Sorry, I didn't notice the M3. I thought the M9 was the only monitor they were doing.
Yes, that's the M9. Where do you see M3?
Right below the M9. So it says Sony's flagship in-zone M9 monitor, 4K resolution, HDR 144. And then it says the cheaper M3 coming later this year.
Yes. Okay, so that's their other monitor. Yes, that's their other monitor. So they're planning on doing 2, but right now the M9 is like the flagship one.
Yeah, I mean, I know like it might be hard for some people to like afford a $900 monitor, right?
Yeah.
But to be real, if you're gonna spend after taxes close to $600 on a M3, I would probably try to save the $300 to $400 extra. Especially if you're already like, this is a monitor you're buying. You're not saving for a PC or something else. It's just a monitor. I would definitely just save the extra money and buy the better one. Or you could easily go buy. We talked about your monitor. Like yours was 250, I think you said. And
Yes.
it sounds like a really good monitor. So like, I would just go out of my way and like do a little research on my own to find something. You know. This is obviously Sony branded, supposed to work with the Sony PS5.
Yeah. That's always the hard
I think that's like going to be the big selling point for them. Is like it works with the PS5. Why wouldn't you get it and use it for your PC? You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's always the hard part of like shopping for a monitor is like you're bombarded with so many with so many features and shit like that it's like when I finally got the one that I wanted, it was just like, all right, let me see what's the difference between this and this other monitor, doing the comparisons and stuff like that. Oh, this monitor is a little bit cheaper because it's on sale, but it's still pretty good. And it's just these whole things where you have to like take into mind. It's just, like you said, doing your research for a lot of these things. So with this coming out, hopefully reviews are up and either it might be good or it might be bad. Because that's always the case. Because, one of the monitors I was like super interested in was like one of those like Samsung Odysseys. You've seen those, right? Yeah, I was like super interested in that, and then like I was seeing reviews, and people were like, "Yeah, this shit like is buggy as fuck, and it's like not that great. It was like overhyped, and it's just like, and they're really expensive on top of that. So it's like at the end of the day, I'll just try to go for a monitor that is good overall."
So when you're looking for a monitor or TV, I don't know how many like TVs or monitors you've like bought in your lifetime, but when you do go looking for them, do you like have a brand that you just auto default? You're like, oh, but these are like good because like you remember them being good.
It's tough because the monitor that I have currently is a Gigabyte monitor, and I've never purchased anything from Gigabyte really. Maybe my card, maybe my PC video card, but no. And like the TV that I have is like super old too, but it's a Samsung one. And it's not one of like the new Samsungs where it's like super thin. It's like, I think I got it around like 2010, maybe 2012.
Yeah.
So it's relatively old, but like as for like TV stuff and monitor shit, I don't know. Like like now, obviously, I try to do a lot of research on it because like I'm looking to do that upgrade, and that upgrade is the reason why that leads to that whole research. But I don't know now. Like it's one of those weird things where like the OLED and the UHD and that shit like starts to confuse me, and I'm like, fucking hell. Like I just want a good monitor. Like right now, since I got the PS5, I've been eyeing the fucking Sony Bravia, but that shit is like super expensive. So that's why this comes to the whole thing of like, if you're gonna get a monitor, having that much money, I feel like at that point you might as well save a little bit more and get a TV. But if you're more of a TV person rather than a monitor person, it's weird.
Yeah.
Display stuff is just weird.
I always default to thinking Samsung's the best. I'm like, yeah, but what does Samsung have? Yeah, but like Samsung, like their displays are always just like clean and usually pretty good. We've had a few Samsungs. I do have to say, my first TV on my own was a Westinghouse, and the fucking sound quality is horrible.
Yeah.
But that TV still works till this day, and it's been like 8 years.
Like I say, man,
having it.
Like I say, that's just like there's some shit out there that you don't even realize that like is actually pretty alright. I know people kind of like the budget TV brand TCL.
Oh yeah.
I know people like those, yeah. But
my buddy bought a Vizio, and I always was just like, I'm pretty sure first of all Vizio is a Target brand, and he bought it, and I was just like, yo, I feel like Vizio is such a bad TV company. Like, I feel like I've never heard anything good about it. Like, they break pretty easily. No, like, I went over and watched like a movie with him, like the day when he bought it, and I was like, yo, this fucking looks amazing. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, like, maybe on sale for $300. It's like, a 50 fucking inch screen or something. And I was like, dude, I was very surprised that Vizio made like a good ass product,
TV,
because that thing was good.
Yeah, no, like I said, you can find gems in like certain TVs and stuff like that. Like, but that's also the other thing is that like I've been hearing with like the since now these TVs are like doing like you got to connect it to like the internet now. It's just been like weird updates for some people. So it's just like, TVs are going in a weird space where they need updates, and it's just bizarre.
Dude, I hated, or I do still hate that TVs have the internet connection, because the call I get from family members is
displayed on your TV.
How do I put my information back in to get like Hulu working? And I'm like, the settings, just like anything else, you're gonna go into settings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like technology and old people, and then you're like, I don't want to have to do it for everyone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that like the technology gets a little bit more complicated to like even me, a person that like is not that old, is just like, I'm just tired with all this technology shit integrating into like another thing.
Wow, Jones is truly old.
I am very old. You don't even know, bro. Me and Final Fantasy VII are the same age. Think about that.
Are you?
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII came out in 1997. That's why it had that 25th anniversary.
Oh crap.
Yeah, think about that. So yeah, just overall, wait for reviews. Pre-orders are up, but I would say wait for reviews. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. And I'm still eyeing that Sony Bravia at a point. But I like I said, I'm looking at like other alternatives for like other TVs and stuff like that, just in case, because I do want to take a hold of that 120 VVR, which I have to see, because like my monitor says it has VRR, but I have to check again. Because like sometimes I connect my PS5 into this and it's like not able to do it, or maybe it might be the cable itself. But the cable that I got is like for like 8K quality and like all this other bullshit. But who knows? Who knows, Ming? Yeah. All right. So moving on from that, what's the other one from going from bottom to top?
Halo.
All right, Halo. Howler. God. Shut up, Sony. It's time for Microsoft. Have you played any of Halo Infinite? Like the war. What is it called? It's not Warzone. What is it called?
Halo Warzone. Yeah.
Is it called Warzone?
Halo Infinite.
The free to play shit, the multiplayer thing.
Yeah, Halo Infinite.
No, but that's the game. Well, fuck it. All right, the multiplayer shit. Anyways, forget it. Forget about it. Anyways, so basically, we got this article from Video Games Chronicle saying that apparently this has been an issue since the beginning of this game. That there is like weird desyncing stuff that happens, and it's not necessarily audio. It is combat desyncing, where the problem that a lot of people have been talking about is whenever you try to do a melee attack, the game doesn't register you doing a melee attack to someone, so it's just like melee attacks have become nothing. So there's weird desyncing with that. Specifically, I think it's called melee collision. Yeah. So basically, on a Reddit forum, developers for 343 have come out and stated that it's gonna be a while till they fix it, because other devs have been put on other stuff for Halo Infinite to fix. So Yeah, and the game's already on season 2. I think it's just called Halo Infinite Multiplayer. I think that's what it's just called.
It's called Last Spartan Standing.
Okay, sure. But isn't that a game mode?
That's their game mode for Battle Royale.
Oh, okay. Well, this is not necessarily. It's just multiplayer. This whole thing. Forget it. Forget it. It's just multiplayer. We're just gonna call it multiplayer. Stop with this nonsense.
Last Spartan Standing. Or LSS for short.
Why you do this to me? Why you do this?
You said you want to get on Instagram? Yeah, me too.
I'm just looking at Twitter. I'm looking at figures because my mind is broken. Anyways, so yeah, it's not gonna be fixed for a while. Is basically what 343 is saying, which is kind of unfortunate. I kind of want to see videos on this. I didn't see any videos on like what exactly the issue is, but looking at this, well, reading this, it's like that's kind of gonzo and kind of bad. And you would expect that, you know, Halo being the big thing, and especially this fucking thing being delayed multiple times, would have a good amount of people working on it, but apparently not. And this is also funny because there was a whole debacle that happened on Juneteenth where they put out a color for Juneteenth for Halo's multiplayer, and the code behind it was called Bonobo, and people thought that that was like a racial slur for the Juneteenth thing.
Oh, it is Halo Infinite multiplayer. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, back to the whole Bonobo thing, but it wasn't. Essentially, Bonobo was part of their integrated code, so there's nothing they can necessarily do about that. So it was just an unfortunate use of words for a code that has been there since the beginning of Halo. Yeah, so that was some crazy shit that happened on Juneteenth. But yeah, sorry, Halo Infinite fans. That shit ain't gonna be fixed until later, I guess.
Guess you'll have to play Fortnite.
Haha.
Or H1Z1.
Or
whatever Blizzard comes out with that's going to be the same thing as this. I'm sure they'll make one.
And that's a good segue into the thing about Blizzard. We're going to skip over the one that went after that one. Because that was a good segue. So, Blizzard has come out and said that Overwatch 2 will replace the original.
Oh, my fucking God. Yeah.
Yeah. So, everybody's like, why the fuck did you just not like make it an update to the original Overwatch? That would have been way simpler. But they're like, nah, it's Overwatch 2, bro.
So, the one thing I'll give them that I really like from this is that, from what I understand, is one's just gone. There's no longer Overwatch. It is now just Overwatch 2. You'll never have a copy of Overwatch 1. I'm sure, like, you'll be able to, like, go back on PC or something, but I'm sure on console, the update or whatever you want to call it will come out and replace 1. So you'll no longer be able to play 1.
I mean, I don't know how it would work because I technically have a physical version of Overwatch. And if I just disconnect from online, it doesn't do the update, I'm assuming. So you could technically play it, but not online. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's an online game, so I don't know like how much you'd be able to do other than maybe training. Which is fine. Like, whatever you want to do, I don't really care. You know, whoever wants to play, however you want to play. But what I like is that you're completely getting rid of this old thing, so that people can no longer play it. Which like maybe sounds like a bad thing to people, but it's the same game. You're not getting anything different.
I mean, there's the player mode. It changed from 6v6 to 5v5, so 6v6 doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
It's the only.
I guess that'd be like the difference. I don't know. I guess I kind of think like Destiny, kind of, or like there's some other games that I just can't think of that have went from 1 to 2, and I'm like, it would just feel better to like incorporate them together, basically. I don't know. Ultimately, I'm not a big fan of Overwatch, so this doesn't really speak to me.
Good luck, Overwatch fans, with your Overwatch 2. I mean, this is the thing, is that like this is nothing new to Blizzard for basically making the newer version take over the older version. You know, you have the Warcraft 3 Reforged shit that happened. I don't know. Do they still sell?
I can still download old Warcraft,
but physically, right? Or digitally? I forget.
Digitally. I have it digitally.
Oh, but I was about to say, because you've had the old one for a good while, right?
Yeah, I've had it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still buy it.
You can still buy. Have you opened it?
I can go on my. We did this last time.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember.
On my Blizzard account.
Like, you can open it. But yeah, but either way, companies have done this shit like since the dawn of remakes and reversions and revamps. But it's interesting to see that a sequel is essentially replacing the predecessor in a way like this, where it's just absorbing it. It's very weird. I've never seen anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really seen anything about Overwatch 2 to be any way interested in it. I mean, we got Junk Queen, which is Australian booba woman with abs, but that's basically it.
Yeah, I still have them in my classic games.
Can you open it?
Yep.
Can you play it?
You want me to download it right now?
Okay, don't download it. It's gonna take up your bandwidth, and then I'm gonna get like robot voice from you. Like, nah, now's not the time. But speaking of robots, Cyberpunk, this shit is nuts, bro. As someone that is actually still kind of playing Overwatch, not Overwatch, excuse me, Jesus, Cyberpunk. That's still playing Cyberpunk a little bit. So this is another article from Video Games Chronicle. Basically, what this whole thing was, there's a reason as to there is a possible reason as to why Cyberpunk was a big disaster when it released. So, a leak came out, and it was uploaded to Upper Echelon Gamers on YouTube. And basically, what they have to say is that they received documents from an employee based in a QA department, not department, a QA business by the name of Quantic Labs. And Quantic Labs is known to do a lot of QA for CD Projekt Red games. So they did stuff for The Witcher, for example. And basically what the documents had to say was that when given Cyberpunk from CD Projekt, it was given to staffers who have just been there for like a year or so. Like, not that like they haven't been there for that long. So they didn't necessarily know what to look for in specific bugs and stuff like that. So they kind of lied in a way of telling CD Projekt Red of like, yep, the game's good to go. Yeah, it's reading this report is kind of crazy because of the fact that obviously Quantic Lab apparently has a lot of other offices in Romania, and a bunch of more clients that they work with, but they didn't necessarily say that the document is untrue. They said it got some facts wrong because of like the amount of people that they have on staff. But yeah, there hasn't been any word from CD Projekt Red as well to back up the statement. But that's kind of nuts at the fact that essentially this game, there is a chance that this game was just a QA failure. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. It's like there is a reason as to like why it came out buggy. Yeah, I don't know. You like Cyberpunk? I'm gonna take your silence as a yes. Yeah.
Sorry, say it one more time.
What?
What did you ask?
Do you like Cyberpunk? And I took your
No.
silence as a yes. No, you said
No,
yes.
I do not like Cyberpunk.
Your silence was so loud in saying yes.
Sorry, I was looking up the Warcraft thing because I can't find it to buy.
Mm-hmm.
But no. It looks like you can't buy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the one thing, is that you couldn't buy it.
Aw. You might be right. It's weird. It says that you have to upgrade to the version. It says you don't have to buy it, but you have to. I'm downloading the game right now.
Be careful, because then it might upgrade you to Reforge, and then you might never be able to get that version of Warcraft 3 back.
I have the discs, so maybe I could jam them in and make it happen.
All right. Give us an update next week.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah. So I don't know. This whole debacle is kind of insane at the fact that like it was essentially just miscommunication again. I mean, that's been Cyberpunk's whole thing, is miscommunication, because there was the whole thing where the higher ups were blaming the development team, and that shit was kind of weird as well, especially in the apology statement that they put out. And then this came out where it's like it wasn't the development team, it was actually the QA team, because of the fact they had staff that were not there for more than a year on this game that was highly anticipated, but I don't know. Until we hear like an actual response from CD Projekt Red, then I guess we might get a clue to this as to like the what's what I'm looking for? The offense? No, can't say authenticity. There we go. Jesus, words. Chonch knows. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. You got any thoughts?
I mean, not really.
Okay. But you know what you should have thoughts on? Metroid Prime Remastered.
I mean, honestly, let's go.
Okay. So according to Jeff Grubb, so if for people that don't know who Jeff Grubb is, he is basically like an insider when it comes to video games. He's very well known throughout the video game community, specifically with journalism. But if you want to know how good he is, he was the one that found out about the Nvidia leaks. The ones that basically put out saying that Final Fantasy VII Intergrade was going to come out for PC. Same thing with Dragon's Dogma 2. I believe that was him as well. But there's a lot of things that he's basically had the scoop on, and they have been pretty much right. Like some people say 95% of the time. So yeah, Jeff Grubb reported. Oh, and also Jeff Grubb is on Giant Bomb now. So shout out to Giant Bomb. But Jeff Grubb reported that there's going to be a Metroid Prime remastered, and that Nintendo already is at the end for the remasters of Prime 2 and 3. But then leads to the bigger question: when Prime 4? When Prime 4? When going to happen? But either way, that's neat. I've never played any of the Prime games. I've only played the 2D Metroid games, just like 1 and 2, and a little bit of Dread, but I don't the demo of Dread. But I know people like these because these are supposed to be like the first person ones, right?
Yeah, I love Metroid Prime.
That's good. Now you get to experience it on your Switch. Oh wait, you don't have.
Did you not play Metroid Prime?
I have not played it. No.
Why? What?
I just never played it.
Talk about all these games. Metroid Prime is so fun.
I've never played it. No.
Okay, well, you know what? You're a human.
There you go. Now I have stream content. Think about that.
Yeah, Blue Dragon?
What? What's a Blue Dragon? Anyways, uh, I feel bad for Blue Dragon sometimes.
You're such a piece of shit.
Poor Blue Dragon. I'll probably return to that game at a point.
No, I don't want lies. Don't lie. Just say you're not gonna play it.
No, I'll play it. I'll be
Just
like,
say-
"Hey,
just
Blue
promise me
Dragon,
you'll
I
never touch it
missed
again."
you. I missed you," and then I'll kiss it on the forehead and be like, "Let's go play. Let's go have an adventure, Blue Dragon." But you know what isn't Blue Dragon? Fucking Final Fantasy 16. So we talked about this like last week or the week before a little bit about this, about like what exactly the plans are for Final Fantasy 16. So there have been a couple more things just wanted to add. They're very short. That basically the game is not going to be an open world game. It's going to what they call a global scale game, which I guess is like a bigger, just a big linear world kind of.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And then this was basically coming off from the interview that a couple of gaming articles, gaming news places had an interview with Yoshi P talking about, you know, the whole background behind this game. The Yoshi P has also stated that there's no plans for any tertiary content, basically any DLC stuff or side stories, and that the players will follow the life of Clive, the main character for this game, in 3 stages: his teens, his 20s, and his 30s. And then obviously, I think we said this, that Final Fantasy 16 is currently playable. It's just they got to do the voiceover work for it, and some debugging and some cutscenes for, you know, just final touches. Yeah, and just like one little thing that Yoshi P talked about is just like, you know, why are you going back to medieval? Because like, isn't, you know, Final Fantasy kind of crazy with all its technology shit? And he's like, we enjoy the medieval part. Like, they were fans of the medieval Final Fantasy games, so they're just like, we're gonna stick to that. And it's like, okay. Oh, and they also talked about the combat as well for a little bit, about them kind of like evolving the combat of Final Fantasy, especially with now using one of the designers for Devil May Cry 5's combat. And
Really?
basically, yeah, Yoshi P is like, we're really lucky to have him on the team, and you know, he's basically, from the sound of it, is like he knows what he's doing, obviously. Because all the face buttons are actions for combat, but you have the ability to switch abilities, and that changes your combat a bit. So, like, for example, you can have the Garuda icon, and Garuda is like the aerial summon, but for when you're fighting as your main character, you have the ability to like shoot your enemies up skyward, and then you can switch it to Titan, and then Titan basically is like the slam down, downwards. So yeah, like I said, there's interesting stuff that obviously it's going to be the big action game, almost akin to Devil May Cry 5. Not as crazy as Devil May Cry 5, but crazy in a way. So yeah, it's weird. But just basically back to this. It's basically all the stuff that we talked about in the week previous. About like some of the things that they're putting in Final Fantasy 16. But what I was saying was that like, it's kind of crazy at the fact that like Final Fantasy in general has come up to a stage where it's like, it's really, I wouldn't say pushing away its RPG elements, but it's very different from where it started. But I think that's the whole thing about like certain games, especially games in a series. It's like, how do you change the formula for a good bit? And like, sometimes some of those games formulas don't really work out in certain ways. You know, people have criticisms for Final Fantasy 15, people have criticisms for Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 12 people had criticisms for, but you know, each game has their own fans that adore those games. But like I said, as an action fan, because I know you say I don't like action,
Wait, I don't like action, or you don't like action?
You're saying that I didn't like action before we started recording, but you know, as an action fan.
Oh no, you don't know what action is. That's what it is. Sorry, go ahead.
I know what action is, bro. Fight me. Fight me. I'll show you real action, bro.
Okay.
Basically, I'm really interested to see how the combat continues to be somewhat interesting, and I just wanted another action game. That's all I want. Like I said, I know a lot of people might be really pissed at the fact that it's not doing any RPG elements. Maybe like armor and stuff like that, but other than that, it's not really. It's an action RPG, I would say. So yeah.
See how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And another thing is that a third trailer is planned for this fall. So the third trailer will be more concentrated on world, lore, and storyline. So it's more of a story stuff rather than gameplay. But yeah, that's neat. Oh god, we talked about Blizzard, but I think coming back to Blizzard for a little bit. Diablo Immortal is banned in China, or may be banned in China. So this article from .esports basically states that the Chinese social media account for Diablo Immortal made a political statement about its leader Xi Jinping, calling him Winnie the Pooh. So for those that don't know, that's a big no-no in Japan. I was about to say Japan because I was thinking about Final Fantasy and China. It's a big no-no in China, even though that is mostly a political statement there, by calling the leader Winnie the Pooh, and there have been memes about him looking like Winnie the Pooh. Even Winnie the Pooh, the character, is banned as well in China. So
definitely banned in China.
I'm pretty sure Winnie the Pooh is banned in China.
Okay.
I could be wrong. You know, it's always the thing about this show. I could be wrong. We could be wrong.
Should have just named the show. I could be wrong.
We maybe be wrong.
Wrong.
Well, but yeah, there hasn't been any confirmation whether or not the Diablo Immortal is going to be banned over there, but the social media account in China has been like banned. So further update on that at some point, but that's kind of funny. Because essentially, what did the social media post say? It was like, when is the bear gonna fall? And they had a picture of Winnie the Pooh. It was
I didn't read the
thing,
the actual post. No.
Wow, can't believe you hate things. But the thing that actually is going to really fuck this up for is NetEase, because NetEase is the company behind Diablo Immortal, right?
Are they?
Yeah, because remember,
like the server hosts?
No. Well, yes and no, but yes and no. Because I forget NetEase. Yes. Yes. Yeah, the other server host, but they're based in China. So.
Yeah, they're the ones that like hosted in China, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah, there might be a chance where the blowback comes to them mostly, and Blizzard, of course.
I doubt NetEase will have trouble with them because NetEase is, I believe, based in China, right?
It is. I just said that. You don't listen. It's okay.
So I don't think that they would have problems, especially because it came from a Blizzard account, not them.
But they're in partnership with Blizzard.
Yeah, so they just relinquished their partnership.
They're not going to relinquish their partnership, bro. It's not that easy.
It is that easy.
It's not. Stop it. Why
when
you
your
do
leader
this?
tells you are going to not have any games in their country anymore, where you make all your money, you
time to relinquish.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Get rid of your partnership.
All in doubt, relinquish.
I mean, I would if that's how all my money was being made.
Wow. What a quitter. Don't relinquish. You heard it here, folks. Don't relinquish, says Chonch. I'm a big advocate for don't relinquish. Put up more pictures of Winnie the Pooh. put it in your office.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, but just besides that, it's just funny that, it's not a gambling thing for Diablo Immortal to be banned. It's more of a political thing. But that's kind of funny. But you know what else is funny? I'm actually trying to scroll through what else is funny. Actually, I wouldn't say it's funny, but it's actually kind of sad. What do you know about Babylon's Fall?
Me?
Yes, you.
Pretty much nothing.
Okay. So Babylon's Fall was the big online service character action game developed by Platinum Games that Square Enix published. Wait, did I say? Yes, developed by Platinum Games. Basically, this was supposed to be like the big thing that Square Enix wanted to do for online service games. But it's not a good game. I would recommend a video by the name. I think the YouTube channel is called Power Pack. But the guy does like a whole like analysis for Babylon's Fall as to like why it's not particularly a good game. And this game was, remind you, this game was delayed multiple times. But basically from this article, Babylon Falls reaches 0 concurrent players on Steam, and this was like 7 days ago. So yeah, this game's not doing so well. Even when it launched, it didn't do so well. Even the beta that I played was like really bad because of the fact that like in order to actually, I know it being an online game, but in order for you to actually get on there, you needed to have a Square Enix account. If not, the game would not let you play. So it just became this whole stupid thing. I was just like, God damn it. So I just ended up not playing the the beta. Or the demo, I should say. But yeah, it's kind of sad because this kind of puts Platinum Games in a bit of a pickle as well because, this game barely made anything, so they're not gonna get anything really back from it financially. So that's unfortunate. And it's really unfortunate, like I said, for Platinum Games because like they make good games. It's just sometimes people don't play the games, or sometimes the games are not that great, but the action is pretty alright. Like I said, it sorry, I thought I heard a noise. It kind of sucks for Platinum. Fuck Square Enix though. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck them.
Square Enix is a great company.
Yeah, fuck them though. Even though they're making Final Fantasy 16. I don't know, like Square Enix was really trying to push a lot of like these live service games. You still have Outriders, and they're sort of trying to push that. But Babylon's Fall is just like, I'll send you that video by Power Pack, and you'll see that like it's not a good looking game. Yeah. But moving on from that, just I guess 2 minor things. Another thing by Jeff Grubb. Speaking about Jeff Grubb, so the Horizon show has been announced, called Horizon 2047. It's Horizon 7. I can't get this right. Horizon 2074. There we go. Wow, my brain is just like not working today. So yeah, the show has been named. Basically, it's supposed to be the fall of civilization before the games. Basically the start of the robot uprising if you played Horizon. And yeah. Really nothing else from that. Just that's happening. It has a name now. But there was some speculation saying that like it's going to have like the past,
Holy shit.
You alright? Haler? Hello?
Sorry, I just had a sneezing fit.
Oh, okay. You said holy shit and then you went dark.
I got sneezing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, basically the show has been named. the rumor is that the show is going to have the robot uprising as like some of the beginner stuff, and then it's going to move on. It's going to do like a back and forth thing between like the future and back then. But as far as I know, I don't think there's any actors or actresses named for this show. But who knows? Who knows? And then like another little short thing involving TV shows. Hideo Kojima talked about Amazon's The Boys. As someone that watches Amazon The Boys, I really enjoy that show. And Kojima seemed to enjoy it up until 3 episodes, only to realize that he had a similar idea to this show for a video game. Basically, he wanted to do like a detective agency, taking on superpowered heroes or villains, and basically the whole premise of The Boys. And yeah, he just stated that he had a similar idea, and basically Mads Mikkelsen was supposed to be the leading role for that idea, but it never came to fruition, and it's unknown whether or not he might come back to the idea. Hopefully he does. That sounds neat. I would like a boys-like game, but that's the thing, is that like I guess he can't really watch the show because then, you know, things might start to converge. But, you know, here's hoping. Here's hoping. And you know what else we can hope for? Hold on, I'm making sure that we read through the good amount of shit. Alright, we did that. We did that, we did that, we did that. Yes, we did that. Alright, you know what else we can hope for? Xenoblade Chronicles 3. 3, baby. Alright, I guess just for me. I forgot to watch the fucking Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct, but it pretty much goes into depth about the game. It looks very Xenoblade, that's all I can say. I'm kind of excited for it, but I still gotta play that little expansion thing that I bought for Xenoblade 2. I still haven't gone through that. And this game's coming out next month, which is nuts to think about. This game was announced like a couple months back, only for it to be like, hey, it's coming out in a couple months. So yeah, I like the story for Xenoblade. I'm not a huge fan of the combat, and I can see that the combat kind of went back to 2. Oh, maybe a little bit of 1 now that I'm looking at it. Alright, I have to really look in depth into this, but I'll update probably next week about my thoughts of this direct. Yeah, Xenoblade fans be happy, I guess. I don't know. And it's funny that I mentioned that too, because currently Wario64 is putting up posts on Twitter for like pre-orders for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition, and that shit has been like sold out a lot. I'll just get a regular copy. I kind of wanted the Special Edition just to see the art book, but for the amount of headache, I don't know. But you know what else is not a headache? Or I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, video games are cool, right? Nintendo Direct, the mini partner showcase has happened. We see more. Yeah, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Basically, the first thing they started with in the mini partner direct is obviously more stuff for Monster Hunter Rise for their update for Sunbreak. Sunbreak is looking cooler and cooler. I gotta play that game, but I gotta finish World. That's just me. Yeah, just they announced seething basil juice or basil geese. Basil juice. This was a monster that I remember fighting in World and was a bitch to fight, but still pretty fun. And then on top of that, Lucent Nargacuga was also announced, I think, previously. So that's happening. And then they have like this whole map planned out for what they're releasing. So in August, those two monsters are coming out together for the free update. And then in fall, there's another free update with some rare monster species and subspecies. And then in winter, there's going to be several monsters updated into the game, and then something else for 2023. So Monster Hunter is still going strong. And then after that, Nier Automata has been announced for the Switch, which is cool, I guess. play that robot butt, if you know what I mean. And then there's this other game by the name of Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which seems like a puzzle game. Neat. And then, did you know that Konami is still making games? Because they're releasing Bomberman R2. I never played a Bomberman game, but there you go. You got Bomberman R2 for the Bomberman fans. And then after that, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is happening. I've never really heard anything about these games, the Battle Network games, but I remember they were on the Game Boy, I want to say, or Game Boy Advance. But neat, that's coming to, everything else. And then after that, there's Pac-Man World Repack, which I remember this being a thing. I remember a 3D Pac-Man game, but I never played it. But looking at the gameplay for it, I'm like, it seems kind of gonzo, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of gonzos. Yeah, and then after that, we got a cute little game by the name of Blanc. You gotta say it like that. You gotta say Blanc. You play as a deer and a wolf cub, and basically it's like platforming puzzles and stuff like that, which is kind of cute. It reminds me of that game Brothers, I think is what it's called. The Tale of Two Brothers, something like that. By the guy who did A Way Out and It Takes Two. Joseph Ferris, there we go. I got the name. Anyways, then you ever played any of the Monkey Island games? You like those games?
Not really.
All right, well, too bad. The return to Monkey Island is happening. People are kind of shitting on the art style, but that's them. I don't really have any connection with Monkey Island, so there's that. And then they showed a little bit more about Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I played a little bit of Mario plus Rabbids. It's essentially XCOM. Obviously, with this trailer, they're changing a little bit of the formula, I guess, to make it more of an easier XCOM, because that's what that game is a much easier XCOM. Yeah, I'll probably try to finish Mario plus Rabbids, and then maybe work my way to that. And then after that, we got Little Noah, Scion of Paradise. It looks like it has the art style of Bravely Default, but I don't know. I could be wrong. It's probably not the same character artist. But it's this 2D platform action game, where I guess every time you go out from your little hub world, you the area is randomized, so you go out, collect stuff, bring it back. I guess it's like kind of like I want to say survival, but it's like a crafting thing as well. And then you have like these little I want to say summons, but you have these little characters helping you as well. Out with the game, it looks neat. I think it came out the day this direct came out with. So I'll try to see some more gameplay for this thing, because it looks neat. I think it looks neat. And then after that, you got Railgrade. Bro, what do you know about trains? Nothing. That's what you know. Train sims. If you like trains, you can do train sims. And then after that, we got RPG Time: The Legend of Wright, which I like the art style. I like the little whole premise of like it being this kid's notebook that he draws in, and essentially he has his own little RPG adventure in it. It looks neat. And then after that, some more Sonic Frontiers has been shown off. Do you like a Desonic? You better like a Desonic. If you don't, then oh wow, then I guess the developer for Sonic Frontiers will dislike you because you just don't understand.
Good.
Okay. Moving on. We got Disney Daylight Valley, which is Disney Minecraft? I don't know. It's fucking weird. It's
I didn't watch this video, right?
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm naming it off for you so you can watch later. Yeah, it's like Disney Minecraft kind of. I don't know. It's very weird. Then we got a little bit more of the trailer for Live Alive, which is a game that I'm kind of anticipating for, because I do want to try it out. Yeah, Live Alive is a RPG game that came out in Japan only, and this is the first time it's coming out to the West. But they're doing that 2D, 3D pixel art thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're doing that kind of art style for it, so it looks neat. And after that, they showed Doraemon, Story of Seasons, Friends of the what? What is it called? Friends of the Great Kingdom. I don't know if this is a fucking expansion, maybe? I don't know. I know nothing of Doraemon. I know people like Doraemon in Japan. That's it. Then you got actual Minecraft Legends, that RTS game with Minecraft. And then you got Dragon Quest Treasures, which is a little side story featuring a character by the name of Eric from Dragon Quest 11, and his sister. I forget his sister's name. I want to say it's Sarah. I could be wrong. Anyways, it's a little side story where they go collect shit. That's it. They go collect shit. They go collect treasures. They showed more of Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. They showed a little bit more of No Man's Sky on Switch. And then after that, I'm still watching the video. Oh, Plague Tale Requiem is coming out for Switch, but only on the cloud version. I forget, did they release the first game on...
This fucking game sucks, dude.
Yo, you better watch your goddamn mouth.
I don't fucking care. It's so bad.
It's so good.
Rat Attack.
Exactly. That's the fucking game. It's so cool.
Stupid.
It's so cool that you use the rats for your advantage. All right.
Nobody wants to play that garbage.
Anyways, I'll be happy in my garbage pile. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, good.
And after that, we got Captain Velvet, The Jump Plus Dimensions. Captain Velvet Meteor, excuse me. Which seems to be a tactical game. Looked neat. There was a kid hugging a dog. I don't know what that was. And after that, we got a little bit more about the Portal Companion Collection, which I completely forgot was a thing that was happening for the Switch. Portal's coming for the Switch. After that, we got Harvestella, which is another crafting sim, I guess.
Harvest Moon.
I don't know. It's called Harvestella. Doesn't really have the art style of Harvest Moon, but it has like the farm simulation and shit like that. Yeah, it's farming and action adventure game. I don't know. Looks alright. It's okay. Anyways, moving on from that. There's so many crafting games, because even the Doraemon game is fucking crafting and shit. And then finally closing out, you excited Switch fans? You finally get Persona on the Switch. Besides Strikers, don't worry about that one. So Persona, congratulations! You're gonna be playing Persona 3 Portable, 4 Golden, and 5 Royal on the Switch at 30 to 25 frames
Persona
per
Battle
second.
Royale.
Yeah, Battle Royale edition, where you fight the Personas. Get hyped, everybody! Get hyped. So yeah, that was basically it for the news. The one little thing I wanted to add was I played some demo over the weekend. I played Cult of the Lamb and Angerfoot.
Yo, Angerfoot, bro.
Did you play Angerfoot?
No, my PC's garbage. How was it?
Get a better PC, bro. You ever play Hotline Miami?
Give me 2K and I'll go buy a better PC. No, I did not play Hotline Miami.
It's essentially first-person Hotline Miami, but I kind of prefer Hotline Miami a little bit more because of the fact with Angerfoot, you're just going through doors and not necessarily knowing the setup. But it kind of has that whole thing with like Hotline Miami is that like you kind of have to learn the level, because basically at the end of each level you get like a score for like how many enemies you killed and how fast you went. So like I said, it's one of those games where like you learn the level as you go. But it's fun. It's fun. Like I said, it kind of brings back the Hotline Miami vibes, but way more of an acid trip than anything. And fucking Hotline Miami was a fucking acid trip. And then Cult of the Lamb, still one of my most anticipated games. I would say play the demo if you can run it on your PC, because I'm pretty sure you could probably run it on your PC.
No, nothing plays on my PC.
No, play it. Play it on your PC. Play it now. Cult of the Lamb, still really good. I like the dungeon. That's essentially what most of these games that were shown on the Switch were like farming and village sim plus going out and fighting in dungeons. That's essentially what Cult of the Lamb is, and I like the little setup where you're playing this cutesy little lamb, and then it gains the powers of like this weird eldritch being. It's neat. It's fun. I like it. It reminds me of Hades, but not as roguelike like Hades. It's like Zelda.
Not as handily.
Not Hadesies. Yeah, I recommend those. So that's it. That's it for the news. That's it for the podcast. I don't know if you want anything else to add, Howler.
Yeah, I'd like to add that Bruce Willis is probably one of the best actors you'll ever see in our lives. Also, Blue Dragon is really an underestimated video game. Really good. Way better than whatever that British one is. Nobody likes. Doesn't matter. Just wanted to, let that be known.
Okay. Well, I'm coming back to streaming on Twitch. I'm trying to play more games. This week I finished Kena, Bridge of Spirits. If you want to know my thoughts on that, you can look on the YouTube VODs. And I played a little bit of DNF Duel, which is the fighting game that I played yesterday. Yes. And that game is super fun. I'm probably going to play more because I just need more fighting games. And then I forgot, I played a little bit of the Capcom fighting game collection. It's neat. I'll probably do a stream on Red Earth, that RPG fighting game. I'll probably do a thing on that. But what's neat about it, obviously, is that every game has rollback in it. So that's kind of crazy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and also on top of that, I just want to add DNF Duel has rollback as well, and it's really good. It's legitimately really fucking good. I only had like maybe one match where it dropped, because I guess either the guy quit or something happened with his side, but every other match I played was really, really ran really well. The only thing
You're doing pretty good too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Even though I'm very bad because people be crazy. That's why I'm not playing against any Korean players, because I know those guys are gonna be fucking nuts. It's funny because DNF Duel is based off a Korean game. Really weird.
Wow, you heard it here first. Jones will not back down from his stance against how Winnie the Pooh and Xing Ping Ing is also Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
This podcast can no longer be seen in China.
In China, yeah. That's it.
You almost said Japan again.
No, I said China. This time I said China.
I heard a
China. Stupid. Yeah. It's so stupid. But yeah, I'll be back on Twitch. I don't know if I'm going to stream later tonight because I obviously have to do the editing for this video. But yep. And Haller has to go play League in like a minute. And I got to go eat too.
It's definitely 30 minutes, but that's what it is.
Hey man, I'm giving you some free time to, I don't know, put on your air conditioner.
Oh god.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that because obviously it's getting hot in my room too. Because you're right, these fans just blowing whatever air.
I told you, it's whatever air is around you is just getting blown back.
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
The worst.
I know.
You don't know.
I don't. So thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back possibly next week. Maybe Wesley might show up. Maybe he might bring me food next time. But that's besides the case. I will not let him live that down. Because it's also my fault as well. But anyways, all right. Bye.
Bye.